Hello, everybody. We have finally made it. Welcome to Vorpal Board on Tuesday night team stream. Apologies for the late start. It wasn't my fault. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say whose fault it was, but it wasn't mine. Tonight, we're playing LumberJerks by Howling Hog Games, and we have a special guest with us. We have Alex Delfino from Howling Hog Games. Alex, thanks for coming onto the stream.
Yeah.
Friend of the stream, you've been here before, so this isn't your
I
first.
have,
this
yeah.
isn't your first
Never won
rodeo.
though, so I'm coming with a goal this time.
That's good. Yeah, like I make it an effort really to try to beat anybody who comes on the stream, but
Yeah.
lately I've been getting beat by Thad and Mike pretty bad, so we'll see. Thad might be able to take us down.
Well,
James, stop cheating.
I accomplished my first step, which was getting Mike out of the competition.
right, exactly right. We are missing a Mike Mady tonight. He was having just some connectivity issues, but he is in chat this evening, so he'll be in there talking trash about all of us, I'm sure. Okay, so this game that we're going to play tonight is currently live on Kickstarter. If you are interested in seeing the link to the Kickstarter itself, you can push pound link, exclamation point link in the chat. I'll do it right now. And then you'll get the link to their active Kickstarter. They are about 77% of the way through their goal. They have 14 days left. They're ending on, I believe, October the 2nd. And so if you have not checked this out, go check it out. I've had this game, a prototype copy of this game for a while, and I love it. I play it with my family frequently. It plays quick. It has great art. I find it very entertaining. So that's all the good stuff I'm going to say about you, Alex. I just worked it all out of my system.
Get it out of the way now.
Just got it out. So you are now in the midst of your second Kickstarter campaign. You guys had a successful campaign of The Curse of Misfortune Lane last year. So after having gone through that experience and now being, a couple weeks into this one, generally speaking, how are you feeling?
It's been good so far. It's definitely interesting the second time because, for one thing, when you start it, you think it'd be like, all right, we've done this before, we're ready to get through this, but still had all the same jitters, all the same nerves as you like get ready. Like, okay, can we press the button now? Is this the button that launches the campaign, or is this the button that'll take us to the splash page that'll launch the campaign?
Yeah,
and you just go through all of those anxious green buttons.
Yeah, did it take any time when you hit the button, or was it immediate again? For folks who've never run a Kickstarter campaign before, there's this like get approval kind of process, and it's unclear if it's going to take a while. And then you click the button and you think, oh, maybe it'll be a week or maybe it'll be 5 minutes. And when we did it, it went instantaneously.
It was the same for us because
okay.
I think they even tell you on there like this could take up to 7 days.
Yeah.
We're like, well, we got to do it out in time. This way we could, we've got to prepare for that. What if they come back and they don't approve it? And you click it and you're like, you're good.
Yeah, obviously it must just do some checks. It probably checks the text of the campaign, maybe, and then probably
profanity filters.
Checks if you have other campaigns currently running or something, maybe. But yeah, I had the same anxiety, just like, oh no, is this going to be another week before we can actually launch, or what's the plan? So that's cool. So this time around, you guys are launching a game that you worked with the artist from Curse of Misfortune Lane on.
Yes.
And the design was one that you guys collaborated on, I believe. Is that kind of a different experience for you? Like, does it feel more, I don't want to say like transactional this time, like this is kind of more of like a business thing than a creator thing for you?
Well, in a lot of ways it certainly did, just because we worked with Dave for about a year on Misfortune. And obviously, in the beginning, there was plenty of transactional discussions, and occasionally he'd send us an invoice. But for the most part, it was just a year of discussing the vision for the art and changing stuff. And then we kind of sat down and it was like, okay, what about the game that you never made? We loved what we saw of LumberJerks. We loved the concept. We're like, let's launch that. And he just kind of had the idea, both literally and figuratively shelved. And then it was like, all right, we'll write up a contract. So all of a sudden, I had to get very legalistic for a little while. But Dave's great. He's been great. He's in Australia, and so I won't hold the time difference against him in like some of our communications. but overall, it's been really good, and he's been really cooperative as we come to him and be like, hey, can we just completely change this part of the game? And he's like, no, that's kind of important. We'd like to keep that, and other things we did change. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So is this? I think I've asked you this in the past, but I'm going to ask you again. Is this?
Hopefully, my answer stays the same.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll go back and I'll check the tape afterwards. So your last game was kind of a similar card game, pretty quick playing. I'd say LumberJerks is maybe even a little bit quicker than Curse of Misfortune Lane, depending on how many players you're playing with.
Yes, I would agree.
But it's I like it. I've got on record as liking. This is the box. This is a prototype copy, so all the legal stuff subject to change. But it's kind of like a small profile.
And the final box will be smaller.
It'll smaller.
It'll be a little bit deeper, but a little bit more, I guess, stout.
Okay, cool.
Very good.
And it's the type of thing where it comes with a tiny little rule book. Like I don't want to use the word like cute, but just the idea that it's like it's a small game. It exudes kind of like easy to pick up and get a session going, which I personally like. I think it's great for families because you're not going to sit there and try to explain to a 7-year-old a long-winded set of instructions. You can get going kind of right away. Is that where you guys want to sort of take Howling Hog, or are you guys like, is this kind of your first couple forays into Kickstarter, and then you're kind of trying to blow one up after that?
So I think the answer to that would be we're trying to blow one up after that.
Cool.
I think similar to you guys, these what I refer to are backpack games, and these backpack games aren't necessarily what we spend our gaming time on. I'd much rather play something a little bit grittier, a little bit deeper, something that won't be done in 30 minutes. And so these were a great first step, a little bit less involved, both mechanically and logistically on the Kickstarter, to kind of give our audience the assurance that we were serious, that we would fulfill our campaign promises and everything, to assure ourselves that we were serious before we undertook a massive process that we weren't equipped for. And so this way now, when our next project that we're taking those first steps now, I'm taking way more than Austin wants me to, because I just hit like a manic phase this past weekend, and I was like, this is the next game we're making, and I'm ready to make it. And I think on Saturday I sent him an Excel sheet with like 65 cards, like unique cards, different effects, and
in the middle of this current Kickstarter,
in the middle of our campaign,
yeah, exactly,
that we are actively running. And I'm like, hey, I think, and he's like, I can't even look at this right now. I don't know what you want me to do with this.
Yeah.
But so this way, as we go into that, we have a relationship with a manufacturer, we have a relationship with a fulfillment service. We have 2 successful, hopefully campaigns worth of email addresses and customers who, again, hopefully have been satisfied with our communication and our products. This way we can come back and say, like, here's a big game with miniatures. Here's a big game with, bigger stretch goals and all those buzzwords that people like to hear on Kickstarter.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I like the idea of just sort of trying to organically build on each campaign.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that has required a lot of sort of creative restraint on your guys' part, where it's just sort of like, okay, we're only going to bite off this tiny little bit for this one, but we have this vision long term to get to like kind of a bigger, crazier, more complex set of rules.
And thankfully, a lot of times, like, finances just is your creative restraint.
Right.
Like, you don't have to decide like, oh, we should be pragmatic about this because money tells you you're going to be pragmatic about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, this next one, there may be a little bit longer of a turnover. We're going to try to avoid that as best we can, but we're going to why should it be about bees?
Yeah. Agent Dave wants the next game about bees. We're doing trees on this one and bees on the next one.
Trees and bees.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you, have you played Horrified yet? The current hotness?
I have not. Austin has.
Yeah.
And I'm very familiar with it. I know how the game plays, and I've had a couple people now come up to me and they're like, "Oh, this is like your game but better."
I was going to ask if you wanted to start any beef with Prospero Hall about doing kind of the almost the Monster Squad style, every monster coming at you type setup, because I got a lot of the same vibes. Like obviously mechanically the game is very different, but just You're
it
moving
builds
from
off a very
location to
similar
location.
foundation.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I when I was playing with my wife, I was like, oh, remember when we played Curse of Misfortune Lane? Like, I'm getting the same mental feel from the game. I'm gonna have to talk to the guys and see if they're gonna bring any litigation against Target Corporation.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'd win there.
Yeah, exactly.
We'd make it through the door.
Yeah.
No, basically, I told Austin, and we had a kind of a smaller project that we did before we started Howling Hog, and we had a similar experience with that one, where we launched it, and then a little bit afterwards, somebody else launched it bigger, better financed, and everything. And I told him, I said, we can look at this as like a deterrent. We can look at this as disheartening. I said, but if anything, it tells me that we beat the market for this game by a year.
Yeah, you kind of tapped into that zeitgeist a little bit, right? Like, obviously, there's a desire. There was a desire for that. I think kind of like tapping into the old monster movie stuff was very, very smart. I know Universal Pictures might not agree with me, but yeah, from a game perspective, it really works.
No, and I just tell myself that they saw our game on Kickstarter and then threw more money at it than we could afford.
Yeah, that's fine. Like maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe one day you'll see him at a show and say, "Hey."
Yeah, they can shake my hand.
Right. Yes. Exactly. Finally, we've met one of the guys from Howling Hog. Cool. So I think what we'll do is we'll jump in and we'll play because we definitely have people here who probably are backers, and if not backers, hopefully they will be backers. So we're going to play a round of LumberJerks. And the way, Agent Dave is a backer in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave.
So thank you, Dave. Super supporter of both the Vorpal board stream and now Howling Hog games. So that's great. Basically, the way this is going to work is it's a competitive game, and we are going to each be trying to cut down our own tree. And you can see there are 3 trees. Let's just say that the tree on the left is me, and the tree in the center is Alex, and the tree on the right is Thad. And we're each going to be rolling dice and playing cards in an attempt to be the first one to chop our whole tree down. One of the cool things about the board setup, as you can see, these are all individual cards. They're right here to the left of me, and I'm streaming the board to the guys in a web browser. The way that it works is when you chop the tree, you actually flip the cards over and you get a sort of a chopped version of the card. And as we work through, you'll chop all the way up to the top. And so you have this nice, very tall, almost like redwood style tree that gets all the way chopped through. Oh yeah, the guys want me to change the cameras. Hold on.
See, they should have been on my stream. I've got it.
Oh, you have it set up that way?
Of course.
Right.
I had to swap it because I thought you were going to have Thad in the middle, so I had to swap it up a little bit.
Okay, so we're gonna leave it like that. Hopefully people like that setup. I actually have you down at the bottom, Alex.
I'll allow it.
And then Thad over on the right hand side. So in chat, if you guys like that, let me know. Just to make it clear where everybody is. All right, cool. Alex, you'll just have to load up the 1d6. So in case you don't remember how to do that, you can click on the dice icon in the top left corner. That will open up the dice drawer. And then you can click Add All to Bag, which will add all the standard dice into your dice bag. And then just select 1d6 and set everything else to 0. And then you'll be able to, you can then close the dice drawer. And anytime you roll, you're going to see the results of the d6. Cool. Okay, so I will go first because I am the left-hand tree. And the first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to deal out 2 cards to everybody. Yeah, that's right, Dave. Alex is on the bottom. That is an effort of pre-game intimidation. I just am getting people in. Everybody worked into the right psyche to lose.
I appreciate it, Dave. Because like I said, this is my 3rd or 4th time on Vorpal, and I've never been successful.
Maybe
and I've made every game that I've played on here.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to have you on for something that's not yours, just so it so you can not have the added stress of
this way I can lose without pressure.
Yeah. No, but what have you been playing lately, Alex?
Does it matter who goes first?
The rule books will tell you that the person with the most plaid is supposed to go first.
Like on or
On.
I
Which
don't
I
have
think
any.
I have none.
I have none. Thad, you got any on?
I have plaid underwear.
That's more than us.
Okay, well then Thad's going
Yeah,
first.
I got plaid underwear.
All right, well, all
We
right.
need proof?
No, thank
Family
you.
show. Sorry.
Although before we start, I have
Agent Dave, no.
I do have
No, Dave.
I have one more thing that we will do before we start. And Alex, you can actually do the honors. What I'm going to ask you is I want you to look at Thad's camera. Okay? Look at his video.
Okay.
Look behind where he's sitting.
Oh, come on.
There's a door back there. What can you tell me about that door, the trim around the door? Does it look finished?
It does not. I see some white unpainted trim.
That's we do that every time. So no, we'll get there. One of these days, it's going to be finished, and we're just going to all go crazy on stream.
Thad, I'm sorry to take part in your cyberbullying.
I know, it's brutal.
Okay. All right. So Thad, you get to go first. So the first step that you're going to take is rolling a d6, and you got to roll 3+ to successfully chop down part of your tree. And then if you do happen to roll a 6,
Okay.
you get to chop down 2 parts of your tree.
Are these two hear me?
These ones down here at the bottom are you. Yep.
Perfect.
I have your kind of video down here. I'm over here on the left, and then Thad's over on the right.
All right, ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I came in and out of the session, so it didn't have the D6.
Oh, okay.
There we go. All right.
All right, so you successfully
4.
chopped down the tree. And then you get a new card. Yeah, Dave, it's a good...
When can I play my actions at any time?
No, on your turn.
Once you draw, so you
Okay.
roll your die, you get 3 cards. Now you can.
So make sure you pick those up, Thad.
Yeah, I picked the other one up. And I can play 1 card at a time, right?
You can play 1 card at a time.
Okay, so I'm gonna play my beaver.
Okay. So you're going to roll again?
You see it, right?
Yeah, this one right here.
Yep.
Okay, so we can delete that. And then...
Nice.
Ooh, so you got 2. All right, so Thad streaks out to a big
I like
lead
playing the beaver.
right out of the gate. Okay, so it will be Alex's turn.
No.
No.
Oh.
They gave me that die specifically.
Yeah, I programmed it in before we started today, actually.
Double tapping reveal like that.
Yep.
Perfect.
All right, so
And
this is a grow card, and so what the grow card does is it's going to grow 1 back. And since there is no one other than Thad who has made any cutting, I assume that you're growing Thad.
You assume correctly.
All right, sweet.
Boom.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, man. We can't just let you streak out to the win. All right, so here we go. I roll a 2. Pathetic. Yeah, that's irritating. All right, so let's see. I'm going to chop again.
Stacko pancakes.
Stacko pancakes. The theming in this is very cool. It's all, obviously, it's all lumberjack related, and I think the art is great. Same way. Kudos to Dave if he ever sees this stream. I really like the way it looks. All right, so my second roll. Oh yeah.
Alex, you know about the zoom tool, right? On the menu.
Other than just hovering over, or is there something else?
It defaults to on. So yeah, just the hovering over the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but on the cards.
And then the cards, yeah. Any card you click on, you can click the zoom button for the card. And then it'll zoom in really
nice.
close. Yeah, so it does kind of like a really close-up version of the card.
Was that here last time I did this?
It probably wasn't.
Okay.
It's probably new since then.
It seems new.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, then you can really see how great his art is.
Yeah, and obviously that's very important for cards that just have like tiny little text and stuff on them. All right, Thad, you're up, man.
Cool.
4.
Chop chop.
The dice are on Thad's side today. It is kind of funny that like whenever you move dice into like virtual and you're not rolling a physical die, you start to just get so furious about it. There's something about like a physical die as it seems fairer than a virtual die. I don't know why.
All right, beautiful. I'm gonna play my chop again.
Oh,
my
man.
burly arm.
Yeah, look at that arm, baby.
And we're rolling.
All right. 3. Jeez, man.
Woo!
Okay. I got a request from
Dave got moderated.
Yeah, he got moderated by our bot. Apparently, Dave, you gotta stop spamming symbols, Dave. Yeah, I'm going to. He actually asked to get the box art bigger, so I'm gonna make that bigger on the stream. We have space for it, so I'm just gonna make that bigger so he can actually see it a little bit better.
That's poor Dave.
Yeah,
Right.
Dave.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll while you're doing that.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh, we got
I'm
one.
on the board.
All right. Yeah, this isn't looking great for you, Alex. I'm just gonna
Not at this point.
just gonna throw that out there. Well, that's the name of the game when you come on the Vorpal board stream.
We'll
Chop
also
again.
put a beaver. Yeah, but to no effect.
Yeah. Okay. And
I agree, Dave. That bot showed no mercy.
yeah, no warnings. You know, I
That was like a Thanos snap on this chat.
we can turn it off. Wait, it deleted all your comments?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, hold on. That bot
Previous comment.
that bot has
got
overstepped its authority here. Hold on.
I was there for the Vorpal board snapping, where
Yeah.
half of the entire chat was removed.
Yeah, okay. I turned the bots off. So Dave, try to do whatever you did. Have at it, man. Spam
All your
spam as much stuff as you feel like you need to. I'm curious to see if that took care of it. I apologize for all your comments getting removed. All right, so I'm going to play. I'm going to play the first wildlife card
Nice.
on Thad's tree. So essentially, this makes all your rolls -3. Yeah. Okay, have at it. Oh my gosh.
But he doesn't care.
Doesn't care. All right, so here's how that works. So this wildlife card, you defeat it, but you don't get 2 because it
get 1.
It changes your 6 to a 3. Exactly.
Yeah.
So and for future reference, that you could have skipped your turn there, which I was expecting, but you just
Rolled through it.
just rolled right on through it. I love it. So
That's one of those people that looks at the dice and be like, they've been rolling well. Therefore, they will continue rolling well.
That's actually my son. I play this game with my 4-year-old a lot, and like I always have to tell him, like, oh, and you can skip your turn, and he'll just take that die right out of my hand and just keep blasting. He does not care.
There you go,
See,
James.
Thank you.
That happens with my parents. Dave, he would want to skip because skipping his turn would just allow him to immediately remove that bear. So to go from having a 1 in 6 chance to getting rid of it, he can just guarantee it at the cost of 1 turn.
And sometimes you'll end up with so much wildlife that you even can't successfully roll. So you have to skip your turn if you want to. But the interesting thing to think about, and this is a little wrinkle in the strategy that we've found in our playthroughs, is even if you're in a situation where there's no chance you're going to be able to chop, you still get to draw and play a card. So if you're in a situation where somebody else is about to win, you might want to just roll, even though you're not going to ever succeed, just to be able to play like a grow on them or put some wildlife on them, for example.
And Dave, you need to roll whatever a success would be. So in the case of James right now, he needs to roll a 5 or a 6 because it's -2 to his roll. Thad needed to roll a 6 because he had a -3.
And he got it.
Yes.
And I did. My second one.
I think it's the camo. I think it's the camo hat.
The camo hat and the plaid underwear.
Yes, exactly.
I'm built for this game.
All right, so that is a non-success for Alex.
Man, dude.
You're the die are not.
Alex, you got to get off the
too
stump,
long.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an incredible long con if I'd have just, built part of this system just so we could like have designers on and embarrass them while they're playing their games.
I am going to play a card face down.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so remind me of the mechanic of that again.
So it's a jerk card, and the jerk cards are
Okay.
all unique. And they have special powers that get activated. They can get activated not on Alex's turn. So
Okay.
he can flip it over and screw one of us or make some changes to his tree or whatever. Some of them take wildlife out of his tree. Some of them move wildlife from his tree into other people's trees, etc. There's a whole bunch of them with
Okay.
different effects.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna
Ouch.
we're gonna move this one up a little bit, Alex. Just
Okay. Yeah, you can put it wherever you. I don't know where my face is on your stream.
Yeah, that is
so-
one thing we talk about a lot on the stream. The positions of the cameras currently right now are not shared between all clients. All the
Right.
cards and boards are and stuff, but the debate still rages on as to if we're going to share them or not. We think we're going to and just sync everything up because there are a lot of instances where like people put cards behind cameras and you don't notice, and
Right.
then it's just irritating. So
I definitely see both sides of it.
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I like the way I have my cameras right now, and you probably like the way you have your cameras right now.
Yeah, exactly. So that is kind of the tricky thing. Yeah, and Dave's right. Hiding cards is an interesting strat. It's funny that you bring that up, Dave. I was playing this with somebody, and he was asking me about how it worked. And we were chatting away, and he's like, oh, so if I move off, if I pan away from where you're looking, and I just, like, do some stuff, can you see it? And I'm like, well, not if I don't pan over there and look at it. And I panned over, and he had made, like, 700 copies of the same card over there while we were talking. He was just, like, copying and copying and copying cards. So I got over there, and there was just, like, a massive pile of cards. And he's like, yeah, I've been busy over here. But, yeah, I mean, you could theoretically cheat in Vorpal board, but you can cheat in real life, too. So
Yeah.
Okay, so it's my turn. I'm going to roll the dice and get a 5. So I cleared it out, Thad. We just did it to each other, so that's pretty good. And then I'm going to draw a card. Yeah, there have been a lot of improvements since the last time you saw it, Alex.
Yeah.
Mainly just stability stuff, quality of life stuff.
That's awesome.
But yeah, some good stuff happening. All right, so I'm going to grow Thad's tree.
Have you guys declared any official next steps for Vorpal board?
We have declared that we're going to be coming back to Kickstarter.
Awesome.
We don't have a date that we've published yet.
Okay.
We're kind of working through features, making sure exactly what we're going to come forward with is something that everybody's going to be happy with.
Right.
And then we're going to go through all the same kind of steps that you guys are very, very familiar with in terms of priming up our audience, getting our whole ad strategy put together. Then, generally speaking, this is our second time for this product. So we have a much bigger active audience than we did when we came to Kickstarter the first time. But we want to blow that up as much as we can before the launch, just because you just never know.
Now, are you able to? Do they let you keep all the contact information?
So we have the ability to still send updates for the Kickstarter out to everybody who backed it.
Okay.
We don't get the lists or any. I mean, it's not like we get a list of emails or anything like that.
Right.
But we can still communicate with all the people who backed it. So we had like 300 backers of the first campaign, so we still have access to those people. And so after the first one failed, we did a sort of a big survey just to get a feel for what people liked and didn't like and all that sort of stuff. So we're taking that into account for the relaunch. But yeah, no date yet.
Okay.
What was awesome too, though, is even though we didn't get any of those contacts, just with that update, we also couldn't do a Kickstarter survey. We had to do it off Kickstarter.
Okay.
And our response rate was absolutely amazing. Not only did we get good penetration, but everybody was hitting us really quick too. So
well, to me, it makes sense just from what I've seen of your product, because there's nothing else like it. And if you look at this and say, I want it, then you want it. Like you're not going to look at this and go, well, I'll go settle for X alternative, because there isn't one.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping for, right? Is like of all those 300 people who backed it, like the probability they'll back again is probably high.
Right, absolutely.
Just because it's not like they found another board game and they don't want our board game anymore. You know, it's like this product is kind
they
of
can't
unique.
go buy Horrified.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Better.
No.
Yeah, exactly. You should check it out though. You should give it. It's good, and it's actually kind of in board game world surprisingly cheap.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, and I will end up picking it up. It's on my list, but it's one of those, especially once you're doing this, everybody looks at you and goes, "Hey, I discovered this game. You should play it." And I'm like, I'm so happy to do that.
Yes, exactly. I don't have 200 games already.
Right. Yeah.
40 of them.
My wife would be so happy for me to buy 6 more.
Right. Yes, exactly right. Okay, Dad, I believe it is your turn.
It is. Prepare your jerk, Alex. Okay. Actually, I don't know. Maybe James.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe James.
And his thing might do something really weird.
Oh, drop the jerk. No fun.
No, he's not.
I got no jerk.
He's not dropping it.
Oh.
Sometimes it's actually not. It's not an aggressive one. It's like it helps him and doesn't hurt us. You know, for example.
All right, card me.
So Dave has an interesting concept. Maybe Alex can critique due to his position.
Yeah, kind of the idea of like play game with backers, right?
Oh, I like it. I like his idea.
Yeah.
We've talked about that.
Yeah, you know, just kind of giving people access, you know, giving creators access to the tool to say, okay, well, let's let random people join in, or let's make a tier of the campaign that would let people get access to a copy digitally this way prior. I know people do that sort of thing with like Tabletop Simulator and Tabletopia in advance of the campaign.
Yep, but, which is the case for our game.
Okay,
I'll put that plug. We did not do that. Sorry, I got sidetracked because your card flipped. We did not do Tabletopia this time, but we are in Tabletop Simulator.
Okay, cool. So yeah, for folks who want to try it out, Thad, you did flip that card over by accident, so we did see what it is.
Well, I was. There's no secret.
Well, it could be. You could have left it secret. You could have just left it face down.
Oh, I thought I had to leave it face up.
No, face down so that nobody can see it, and then you can flip it over whenever you want. So you could drop that rubber axe on people right when they're rolling, essentially.
Yeah.
I can do it after roll.
I believe so. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how it reads.
Yeah, I don't want to flip it over and look at it.
Well, here, I'll just flip it over at this point.
We all know it's there.
Yeah, we know it's there. Let's read the text of it. Choose a player. They automatically fail any rolls to chop this turn. So it sounds like you have to actually drop it on them before they roll.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So that's why I was just thinking face up doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you still decide because you can use it on me or you could use it on James.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm creating a threatening board state here.
Yeah.
And if you want to answer that, you have the right to do so.
But yeah, so when you play a jerk, you play it. You don't have to play it on somebody else's tree. You play it on your tree.
Gotcha.
And then you flip it over when it's time to hit. And you can have unlimited number of jerks active. So if you happen to get a bunch of jerk cards, you can put them all out there.
Gotcha.
Chris Raj 29, thank you. I love everything about you. Welcome to the stream.
He's a great guy. He's one of our backers, actually.
Oh, sweet. All right. Well, welcome. Yeah. If you're a backer of Howling Hog, you are a friend of us. Okay, so Alex, I believe it's your turn.
It is. I'm on the board.
Right. Hey, second segment. So, I'm curious because this would have drove me crazy as an engineer. How'd you decide to go from bottom up instead of top down cutting a tree?
So, can I just pass the buck and say that was like part of the design that Dave started with?
Okay.
And just say
so you're gonna blame the designer from Australia that you did it backwards.
Yeah, I think it's because if you started in Australia, this would be the top of the tree. So, I mean, we have so many people that look at the game, and that's a couple of our reviews are like, it's a great game as long as you don't care anything about the fundamentals of actually chopping a tree.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Yeah.
Like in reality, it would be 7 small cards down here at the bottom. And you have to flip over.
It would be like a circle of cards.
Right.
Well, back in the old days, what they call them springboards. So these are springboard slots, so that I can get to the top and top it. Is that what you're doing?
Very good. Look at you.
So yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe the goal of this particular lumberjack is to keep the tree. He's just topping it to keep it from growing any further.
Man, we had a couple reviews really push back about the environmental insensitivity of our game.
That while I can agree with the intent there, that does seem a little bit over the top for me. But that's from a cartoonish standpoint that this game has, I think that's a little.
Well, that's what we did a couple like Instagram promo posts where we asked people like, who's the real villain here in this game?
Yeah,
because it's clearly the LumberJerks. Like we don't call them the lumber good guys.
Right? Yes, exactly. Yes.
Did you just throw a poop emoji on my tree?
Yes,
I did.
I'm gonna zoom in on this one too because this is the fertilizer pile. Every time I see it, it reminds me of that giant pile of dinosaur dung in Jurassic Park. Yes. Yeah. It's like the same shape as that.
Have your kids like caught on to the fact that that's not a rock?
Oh yeah, they know. Yeah, yeah, they definitely know. Poop-related jokes. That's a big thing in the house currently. So they're on board with this fertilizer card.
The favorite card.
Yes.
You need a couple of flies on it.
Yeah.
That would really.
All right, so Thad got knocked one back. I'm up. Oh yeah, baby.
All right. Well, wait. I am gonna play my jerk.
That's a late play. That's a late play.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. It is late. Ah, shit. I got off sequence. See, that's why I wanted this business.
That's why you wanted to play it. That's why I wanted to play it on your turn. Okay. So this is I'm in a pretty good position because I'm only one away here, folks, and I'm going to play.
The chop again.
The chainsaw chop again.
So hold on.
So it still could be worth rubber axing him to stopping.
Yeah, now you could rubber axe me if you wanted to.
Okay, so I will definitely rubber axe you.
All right. Okay, so I've been rubber axed, and we can blow this away. I'll roll it, but it's a fail. That would have gotten me the win. All right, Thad, you're up.
Had to roll it anyways just to feel it.
Well, because I actually, Alex, what you don't know is that I programmed all the rolls in order, so it's very important. See, if I hadn't rolled that 3,
that would have been his success.
Thad would have gotten it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
awesome.
I used to, when I was a younger person, I'd go to Vegas every once in a while, and one of the things that people that would just drive me crazy are if you sit at a blackjack table. They're the type of people who, when you're playing, if you hit, they act as if you stole that card from them.
Right.
And they say, "Oh, that would have been my card," and it just makes my blood boil. So yeah, you could be that. Yeah, you could do that if I had programmed the dice. All right, Thad. Chop again. He's got a chance to win here.
Going for the 6. Ooh.
It's still a 1 in 6 chance every time.
Yeah. All right.
You make a strong point.
All right, Alex, you're up. Oh, what do we got? Super Axe?
Yeah.
All right, so the Super Axe adds +3 to his current chop, so he can end up with a nice little 6 here. All right. So 2 chops for Alex.
I'd love to be in a position where I could chop again.
That kind of like calling out to the card gods.
Yeah, if you manage to come back from this, that would be amazing.
Well, because I like if I chop again, I know I'm gonna get 1 with a +3. But
oh yeah, because it applies to all chops this turn, right?
It does.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm also just handing you probably the win.
Yep. No need to focus on that part of it. You get to a part where you feel like you've done a good job chopping your tree. I think that's the most important thing.
Well,
gotta throw a critter on there.
Yeah, I'll at least let him play the odds.
Okay. All right.
Mike, Mike's Splendid Koala, correct?
Mike is Splendid Koala, yes.
Okay. Yeah, Mike. At this point now, there are no rules for triple chops.
That is an interesting idea. Like if you were able to roll the 6 on top of the +3 as a sort of super bonus.
Yeah, but frankly, that card has been so swingy, pun intended, anyways, that we don't want to give it any extra oomph.
Yeah, cool. Oh, didn't quite get it. But let's see. Maybe I'll get something that's going to help me pull this off here. And of course, now I'm in the position. This is where the decision making of, like, you know, sacrificing your turn to try to stop other players comes in late game.
Yes, Dave, it has been OP. We actually tweaked it down a little bit in the original format. I forget what it was originally, but it was even stronger. It basically almost guaranteed.
All right, so Thad's got a -3 in his tree. Sorry, Thad.
I got a 1 in 6 chance of winning.
You gonna try it?
So
see the numbers.
Your -2
around.
stays, correct, James?
What'd you say?
I know.
Yeah,
this simple game just got complicated.
Thad is that GIF of the woman with all the numbers floating in her head.
I always overanalyze. All right, I'm gonna turn.
You're gonna skip the turn. All right, so go ahead and delete that. All right, Alex. Alex is gonna swoop in and get this win.
It's a good start.
All right.
Oh my gosh, he can do this.
He can. He could get a chop again and roll a 6. I believe that's actually how I won the last time we played, Alex. It was me, you, and Austin, and it was a late 6.
Yeah. Did you start with 2?
Okay, listen.
When everybody had 6.
I don't think I was that far behind.
We don't need this kind of hostility.
Right.
So
Chop again.
I honestly only played this card because it was a new art. I mean, I could have done something a little bit more defensive, but I had to do it because we hadn't seen the flannel.
Got to get that flannel out there. I love it.
Greed is not always good.
Oh, okay.
1.
All right, so I'm going for it. Jeez. Pathetic. It's just like absolutely pathetic. Oh man. No, there were no bets before the stream, Dave. We should do that. We should have some sort of scoreboard that we keep of Vorpal streams. All right, so
here we go for the win.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it real. No, I get to play my card here, Thad. You just hold your horses over there.
Oh, that's right. All right.
Oh man, you're gonna leave.
I'm gonna give Thad the win if I don't get this. If you want to show up and be big time in LumberJerks, you got to do it, right? Here we go.
Oh.
All right. Pathetic.
That's what you get.
All right, Thad.
Hello. I don't know. I get a 50-50 chance of winning here.
Yeah.
Assuming you don't have a chop again.
Right. Yeah. Then you're.
We're off to a good start.
Okay.
All right, give me my card.
Oh, God. That would be so good if he doesn't have a chop again. This is gonna be so good. Makes me laugh.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's a twist. It's twisty.
I do like now we know he got a jerk card.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like oh, that's interesting. Like it's just a chop again. Or
could have gotten a hippie.
Yeah, hippie.
I don't think he had seen a hippie. We got to remember if we or it's boop.
Boo.
I want to play the girl on James.
Uh-oh.
Good for you.
Okay, but see, Alex is
It's not what we wanted.
No.
All right. No. So you got to roll a 6 if you get the chop again.
Yeah. But I'd really like to get a hippie.
He's sitting on the chop again.
Yeah.
I got them all. They're all.
He pulled that out of his hand.
I can't even get at the same point as you.
I mean, all the three of us, we've just been rolling like 1s and 2s every time. I'm still going, baby. I am rolling. Here we go. This is Just everyone's like
you
blood
get
pressure
the
is just
sea
going
of
up.
Jim Halpert faces.
Yeah,
across
exactly.
as everyone's just kind of like.
Mike doesn't have real-time access to the dice algorithm.
No, he does not. he does not.
That would be awesome.
Access.
All right, so I'm gonna put some wildlife in Thad's tree.
Okay. I will go for it.
It's just nothing but twos. We're in some sort of infinite loop. I love it. Nothing but twos. Alex is just going to blow it out with a 6.
Trying to sneak through right here.
Yeah, and just... Now's the time, Thad, to block him up a little bit, I think.
Ooh. That's nasty. That's nasty.
Just the commentary. I love it. I love it.
That's nasty.
All right, so you're going to play it? Whatever it is nasty.
Oh, I got a fox.
Okay.
So, actually, is everybody sitting on... I'm
We've all
here,
got
right?
-2. Yeah, Alex and I are at 5. You're at 6.
Yeah, so actually it's probably good to do it that way.
Oh, yeah,
right?
that's smart, just so we can see how much we have left.
Okay.
In another world.
Yeah, you would have been right there. Yep.
I just wanted cards.
So, Dave, hippies, when you put a hippie in a tree, it will make it so if anybody plays a grow on that tree, it impacts for 2 grows instead of just 1.
If anybody plays one of these.
Right. All right. So you're going to go back, Thad?
You growing me back?
Yep.
This is good. Okay. We're all tied with -2s across the board. This is how it should be. Mano a mano. I do like, to your point, Alex, who's the villains in this game? When you look at like the wildlife, they are all like the happiest.
Oh yeah,
I love the wildlife. They are.
These are not. It's not. What was it? Oh gosh, South Park, like the Woodland Critter Christmas.
Right.
These are not malicious animals.
No, they are loving it.
Yeah, very Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm rolling. I don't care. I'm not skipping a turn.
Okay, so that's 1, and he kills the wildlife, right?
Correct.
Yes. Or he removes the wildlife.
Yeah, chase it out of the tree. We were just talking, Thad, about not killing the wildlife.
Oh, you better not get a roll again.
I mean, better not. Let's see what I got.
Okay. Wait, I have one question before you decide.
Okay.
If you go to roll again, I have a pause. Or never mind.
So if you don't have a jerk out, you
You're
can't.
Right, never mind.
Can't flip it.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just gonna grow Thad.
Jerk.
So to answer, Chris, yeah, exactly, Mike. When you're 4, you're like, oh, there's the right play. Then there's what I'm gonna do. But yes, Chris, in a previous version of the game, the hippie forced you to roll a 6, and you could not. In its first edition, you could not get rid of the hippie by skipping or anything. He was just there, and you had to roll a 6. Kind of found that it was a feel bad mechanic though for a lot of people.
Okay, roll.
This is good. Thad's fortunes have changed.
I'm going down.
Yeah, it's not.
It's all right, James. I have some love coming for you. Don't worry.
So the nasty card? Are you going to bring out that nasty card that we've heard so much about earlier?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, Alex, what do you got? Nobody is skipping turns. I love it. Everybody's everyone's just guns blazing.
We're all going to mock your 4-year-old child for his refusal to skip turns, and then none of us are going to do it.
Correct.
So close.
Yeah, you guys better do something to stop me. Thad's gonna drop some hammer
all right.
in a second, though. It's not my turn yet.
Hold on. Let me play a card. I can help a little bit here.
All right.
Get Nancy.
Well, I don't want to miss it again. I missed it the last time. It almost cost me.
Well, I can make it a little trickier for you.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna.
So you should. So Thad, you would have the option to at least wait until he decides whether or not he's skipping his turn.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can wait until you find out what I'm up to, I guess, and then you can interrupt me. I'm going to skip my turn.
All right, I'm still gonna do it.
I'm gonna get rid of this moose. All right, what are you doing? Are you moving it? Oh, early spring.
Ah.
Yeah. All right. So I grow back 3 chopped cards.
It's the last place.
Yep.
So last place.
Alex is sweating. I love it. How did that happen?
Awful.
James and I were both on 6. Oh, and you were on 2.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, Dad. Are you gonna skip or are you gonna go for it?
I'm totally going. Roll the dice. Ah.
That warms my heart.
Mike, I would say this game can only end in a draw if you just admit defeat and walk away. So as long as I am at this table, no, this game cannot end in a draw.
Like it can end in a Monopoly draw, you know,
Right,
like one of those ones
We're
where
all
it's just
sad,
like,
we're all tired. We're going home.
Yeah, that's your card.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Did you steal it?
I did. I apologize.
He did, but that's
you can
okay.
steal it back. That you can just do the.
I already
pickup
did.
On it. Okay.
That's right. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah,
All right.
if we were gonna rank like our abilities to grow beards as the possible for winning this game, I would just get obliterated. I'm waiting for second puberty. I'm gonna hit it maybe when I turn 40. Okay. Ooh.
Yeah, I've reached the point where my wife is no longer. She wants me to stay bearded, but once I lose the upper lip, it is no longer appreciated.
Yeah, that is a healthy beard. That's for sure. Especially living in Florida, that is an aggressive beard.
Oh, you live in Florida?
I do, yeah. So we stay warm. Summer, I think, is almost over. Maybe it's starting. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of all the same. We don't have seasons based on the heat. We just have like seasons based on the rain. So this is hurricane season, not fall. I will skip my turn.
All right, so Alex is going to clean those off, and we'll get rid of these wildlife. And here we go. Come on, give me a 6. The dice, this is awful. Like, this is something.
Oh. Okay, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I had a pop-up.
Oh, okay. Did you take like a time machine to 1998 before?
Yeah, apparently. I've got mail and everything.
Right. The pop-up was animated, like a thing flew in. Okay, so I'm going to put this beautiful young lady.
There she is.
In Alex's tree. So we got a hippie out, and that means we can really get aggressive with growing back. Alex, so there's a picture of the hippie. And now it's Thad's turn.
Rolling.
Oh, you finally did it.
Get off.
All right, so you're in position if you get a chop again for the win here, Thad. No pressure.
But it's so tempting to grow somebody with a hippie on it.
I know, yeah. Like I wish I had gotten that hippie earlier. It's just I haven't had a good opportunity to play it. Everybody who's watching my side of the game in the stream is probably like, why is he not playing this hippie? But I didn't find a good moment for it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so first hippie effect. That's great. All right, so we can move the hippie down here. There we go.
I love at this point because if I roll a 6, then I get to move the hippie and immediately play off of it. So that's when it like makes for fun plays to me. So I can immediately capitalize on it. Oh, and it was close.
Yeah, it was close.
So you do get the credit for it, but you don't get to move the hippie.
Yeah, hippie stays. Now I just have to hope to draw some repellent.
Yeah. How many repellents are in the final version of the game? I think I only have 1 in this version.
And we talked about upping it, but I think we did leave it at 1.
Okay.
If the hippie had been a restrictive effect that actually stopped you from shopping,
Right.
it would have been
Yeah.
it would have been something that we upped that number. But since it doesn't actually,
I just zoomed in on the hippie card. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
isn't it great?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, we gotta. So the same reviews that were critiquing our environmental insensitivity.
Oh
we're
yeah,
not super happy about her either, or her partner.
Yeah, the
deck
male.
still.
Yeah, I mean, I think the theme is cartoonish enough, I think, to get the message across, but that's okay. All right, so Thad, you got a deer in your tree, buddy. That's not good news if you have a deer in your tree.
No, that isn't good.
All right, here we go. Yes.
Oh. Well, so Dave, we talked about those wedges that you climb up. That's how the deer got up there.
Yeah,
climbing up there just like the LumberJerks.
The stupid LumberJerks, just are somehow cutting paths for the animals to climb into the tree.
Yeah.
If you get double sixes and win this, James, that's just evil.
Some would say evil, other would say clutch.
Serendipitous. Asinility.
Let's see. We got a chance. All right, back up to 6. All right, Dad. So this is a position where you might not want to skip just so you can play something on me. That's the kind of thing I was talking about earlier.
All right, I'm rolling.
So that's a -2. I think maybe that should, count somehow really bad for Thad.
Just holds on to it. It affects your next score.
Yeah, you have to bank your negative points.
My family's finally got me to succumb to the fantasy football fever. That's never been something I've truly cared about. I've never been much of a football person in general. And so they got me into it. In the first week, obviously, of course, I to get me hooked, I just blow everybody out of the water. I get 180 points, and 70 of them aren't necessary. But that was immediately what I contacted. I was like, so can I store these for later? Can I save these for next week? But,
are these rollover minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna go on my famous fantasy football rant for a second. It was the literal best decision I think of my life to stop playing fantasy football. And the reason I found myself listening to an Oakland Raiders San Diego Chargers game while I was mowing the lawn via some sort of online stream because I had a third tier, wide receiver on Oakland. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with my life and my brain? And I said, I got to get out of here. So I quit, and I've never looked back. It has made my life so much better. So welcome to fantasy football, Alex. I hope that it serves you as well as it served me.
Yeah, I'm going to see how long it could go with never watching a game.
Right. All right, Thad, what did you roll? Sorry. Or was that Alex's roll?
That was Alex.
It was a 5.
5. All right. You got me all worked up about fantasy football.
I agree. Board games are much better use of time. Mike.
Yes. It is freeing because my Sundays used to be just ruined because I was just angry all the time because I'd be like, oh, I started the wrong tight end or whatever stupidity.
Yeah, kind of ruined football for me too.
Yeah, you actually start rooting for the teams you don't like just so their quarterback gets points, So.
Ah, man. Yeah.
All right.
Got to go for it. There's that 2 again.
This is wild, man. This is actually on the long side. You've probably played just tons and tons of rounds of this, Alex. This is on the long side, I feel like.
Oh, no. This is definitely one of the longer games I've ever seen. Because usually it does get to somebody gets right here and they roll a 6.
Yeah. I'm going to skip. Gosh, dang it. All right, Dad.
So skipping is completely skipping, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just the analysis. The analysis. I wish we could just drop a GIF into this. Have it.
Give me a card.
Yeah, you do get your card. But I mean, that is the benefit. You can still do something. And still wreak havoc for somebody else.
That is what we like about it, Mike, because like there is more strategy than it feels like there should be when you start.
Come on, dude.
You know what? I'm happy if Alex wins.
Me too.
It is his game after all. I mean, come on. He's running the Kickstarter right now. This man needs to win.
Yeah.
We're off to a good start.
Stop rolling threes.
No, that counts. No, that one's good. Three's good.
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
that's
not,
right.
I'm not reduced.
Yeah. Thad's got the enemy of my enemy is my friend strategy going in full force.
Well, this is normal. Like
I'll
normally
tell you
it's
flat out
Mike and
though,
I
I've got to
teaming up on
draw
James.
it because I don't have it.
Okay.
But I did. Oops, I did draw it.
Here we go. This is it, folks.
Hey.
Congratulations to Alex.
With hippie attached.
With a hippie riding the tree all the way to the top. A big win. Beard power is exactly right. It's appropriate that Alex brought the beer and he got the win. So cool. All right, so that's a playthrough. I would say, Alex, that might have been like twice as long as games that I've played. You know, like
certainly one of my longest as well.
Especially at 3 trees. If you play 5 trees, you can have a lot of ups and downs just because there are so many people that act in between your actions.
Yeah. I've had 5 tree games that are my shortest games as well as my longest, because you'll have somebody where people are just, you get to that point where people are playing and they no longer care what's happening to other people. And they're like, I'll put the deer on James because I don't like him as a person.
Yes.
And not because Thad is about to win.
Yeah. When you're playing with children, that does tend to happen a good deal. They like to put the wildlife on Dad, as it turns out.
Yeah.
Whether or not Dad is winning or losing does not matter. Yeah. But yeah, like a couple things that if you're watching my cards, I never got any jerk cards. But one of the things I really like about the game is it's got almost no text, which makes things very easy for my children to play. It's mainly numbers, and then once you explain all the jerk cards to them, they can kind of do it based on photo. Every once in a while, they don't remember, but it really is a game that is just killer as a family game.
Dave, there are five trees in the game, but you could absolutely you probably wouldn't even need to necessarily expand your deck if you added more people. Just reshuffle when it's done. But otherwise, if you wanted to like get the extra hippies in there or something, you could absolutely combine it.
Yeah, and so people know that game, which was very long, we got through half of the deck. Yeah. So there are lots and lots and lots of cards. So I have never played a game that I made it through the deck and reshuffled it, I don't think. Yeah. So that's pretty rare. And the nice thing about that is you'll play a game and like a lot of the jerks won't even show up. So every game you see a different kind of set of jerks just based on how many cards there are. Sometimes you see a lot of them. Sometimes you see almost none of them. So that's cool. I think if you haven't, what do you need? About $2,300, I think, to hit that. No, $1,300.
We think we're at like 6,300, so okay,
1,700. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, we're about $1,700 short at this point. I'd like to say I'm confident that we'll get it. I think we've got the time, and we'll get everything kind of pushing through. We're hopefully in the next week we should announce some new stuff that will draw some attention to that. One of those, I think James, you're going to be a part of. I think Austin's talked to you about that a little bit.
Yep.
I won't go into any further details at this point. But hopefully we can do stuff to draw some more attention. There's currently a giveaway going on at the Giveaway Geek for somebody to go through their process that I should know better than I do right now. But that's because, like I said, I went on a manic train this weekend and lost track of like sunlight and time and started working on new projects. So
right. But that's good. We just got to get this one hammered out.
Yeah.
And then free up Howling Hog to develop the Opus game, right?
Yeah.
Like alternate between some of the smaller, large, kind of bounce back and forth between some large projects and small projects. I think it's a smart way to do it, and hopefully it works out for you.
I think it keeps us honest, and then coming into the next one, it was one of those things where it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love LumberJerks. It's a great game. I think it does an excellent job at what it is. But a lot of times it's not what I'm looking for in a game night. So I'm excited to take our next stab at that bigger game that, my wife rolls her eyes every time I pull out.
No, I'm definitely excited to see it because I do like your guys' sort of thought process around your games. Every time I play them with you, I realize that there's a lot more thought that has gone into some of the decisions than I anticipated.
Oh man,
you and Austin are already talking about probabilities of everything like right out of the bat, and we gotta play this way because we've already seen these 3 cards, so that means that I can get more aggressive, like that sort of stuff. When I was playing Misfortune with you guys, I was kind of surprised because the gameplay itself I didn't realize it when I was playing it myself, which is like the magic of board games, right? That you don't actually see the underlying details, but.
No, and that's something that I think we got lost in that a little bit in Misfortune. We went a little too deep in some of that because we got to the point where it was like, okay, there's every number in that game meant something to us. It's all based on 7s and 13s to match the luck, and every single piece of it. If you want to find it, there's an Easter egg in all of it, which was great for us as designers because it kept us motivated and excited and made it fun. But I think there were points in which the gameplay suffered a little because of that. So LumberJerks was a good opportunity for us to have somebody else in there with a design started to where it kept us honest, kept us true to the vision of what we needed to actually accomplish, was first and foremost make a good game.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, but that's a learning experience too, right? I
Absolutely.
mean, every project you're going to take something with you, which is good. So here's something I wanted to show off. This is a new feature. I showed it to Alex before we started, and I wanted to show it to the stream. Yeah. So we've been working on improving our component scanning to allow for non-standard shapes. So originally we were just like rectangles, and then we could support, kind of like some almost rectangles. We could do some circles. But since the last stream, we've had a new kind of version release come out, and I wanted to just sort of show some of the things that it was able to do. And I swear, like, this is going to be where it doesn't work. Check this out. I just scanned an actual Lego man. So
I love that he looks like a lumberjack.
Yeah, and it is well, he's actually a fisherman. He's from a fisherman set, but he's like a lumberjack. But that's just me actually putting the Lego man in the box, in the scanning box here. So opening up the lid and putting him in there. And then it will, on its own, stitch out the character or whatever you put in there, and then make it transparent so it can sit on top of other components. So the nice thing about this is, a Lego man isn't really a great example because there aren't a lot of games where you're going to be scanning in Lego people. But any game where you have tokens that you're laying on top of player boards or on top of a board that are irregular, and you want them to be transparent so you can see the board itself, we now have support for it. So the only reason I did the Lego man was because my son walked by and said, "Hey, can I scan my Lego guy?" And I was like, I don't know, put it in. And then immediately I texted Mike and was like, "Oh my God, dude, look what the Lego man looked like." I think it was a Yoda Lego man too. Dave, yes, you can scan cubes. So you could put your little cubes in there if you wanted to get the specific colors. I'm actually going to try to just show you that real quick. So I just dropped the die from LumberJerks on the glass there and scanned it in. So yeah, you can, and this is really thick, right? So you can do real thick components, or you could do little cubes or whatever you need to do. So essentially our goal was just to make it so you can put anything in there and it will at least get it into the game. Depending on the shape, it might have a little bit of the pink. You can see in the Lego man, there's some pink around the border, but we try to do our best to cut it all out. And so far we've been pretty happy with the results. So that's the big new feature in the software for the day. And then the things that
height adjustability in the box is why you get that, right?
Yeah. So one of the features of the box that, as our engineer points out,
I'm the box guy,
is that the way that the box works, the hinge was designed so it actually has some vertical give. This leather piece, if you close on something that's thicker, the leather piece will allow this part of the hinge to kind of boost up a little bit, which lets us scan in cardboard components really well. It gets the pink all the way down. And that's why we can get them evenly lit and all that sort of stuff. So that's the new feature for this week. We have some more stuff coming in the coming weeks. I want to plug real quick. We are going to be at the Council Gaming Con in Schenectady this upcoming weekend, Friday to Sunday. So if anybody watching is in the upstate New York or Northeast generally and is looking for a gaming convention, they have a really cool one. It's got about 350 to 400 people and tons and tons and tons of sort of like open registration gaming events. Anything from 40K tournaments, if you're into war games, to actual tabletop role-playing game sessions, to just sort of board game stuff. So we're at Proctor's Theater from Friday to Sunday. So if you're in the area, definitely come and check us out. And then, as Alex mentioned, in the next few days, we'll probably be announcing some more stuff that we're going to be doing as part of the LumberJerks campaign. And then starting next week, we have a couple other Kickstarter campaign games that we're going to be playing. None that I can absolutely say because I don't know. I haven't lined up the dates yet, but probably in the next 10 days, we have a couple more that we're going to be playing. And then the final game that we're going to be putting on stream here in the next 2 weeks is Unmatched. I don't know if we have any Unmatched fans out there, but it's by Restoration Games. It's releasing this week, and it's kind of like a 1v1 or 2v2 strategic combat game. So that's kind of my plugs for the stream. Alex, do you have anything else that you want to sort of say about the campaign, or you have you gotten everything out?
Nope, I think I'm good. Just go check it out. You know, and if you have any thoughts, feel free to message us on any of our social media. We'd love to talk to you about it.
Cool, and it's $16.
Yes,
the other thing
great price at this point, and
Yep.
that price gets stupidly great if you buy it in bulk.
Yes, yeah. So if you're looking for 5 gifts for Christmas, you could buy yourself 5 copies of this. So $16 in my opinion. I'm going to come on the record and say I do not know anything about how the cost of what this makes, but the quality of the components and art and gameplay, like $16 to me seems like an absolute steal. So I would probably recommend that you made it even more expensive, Alex. But I'm sure
we've gotten that from a lot of friends and family.
Yeah.
They're like, why are you doing this so cheap?
So yeah, everybody check that out.
$35 for including Misfortune.
Yes, yeah. Our old game is in there as well. The Misfortune, we have some copies left of that, and so that's technically is limited, although I don't foresee us hitting those limits. But yeah, so for those of you who see this, and if nothing else, you just like the art, it's the same artist and the same designers as well, so they kind of go together.
Cool.
And that's with free shipping. How did you do that?
In the US.
I know, but still.
Yeah.
The USPS is cheap, but not that cheap. It's not free.
It was something we really, I think because it was a small box game, it was what I said before, what I kind of think of as a backpack game. We look at stuff like, the big ones, the Cards Against Humanities, the Exploding Kittens, these small box games that are way more developed than us, and we wanted to make sure that we could be competitive with them as far as price points were concerned.
That's true.
Yeah, we definitely just being able to say free shipping in the U.S. I think at a $16 price point just even further makes it kind of, I don't want to say impulse buy because that makes it sound kind of like cheap, but like it's much easier to say, oh, this whole package is $16. I'm not going to have to find out that it's $8 shipping later on or whatever.
Yeah. It certainly makes it easier to bug friends and family, if nothing else.
If you love me, you will give us $16.
Yeah, am I worth $16 to you?
Right. So yeah, cool. All right. Well, Alex, as always, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know that you're right in the middle of a campaign, so
yeah, no, it was a blast.
Always crazy. For folks who are on the stream, Dave, Chris, grudgingly Mike, thanks for hanging out, and Chris, thanks for being a backer. Dave, thanks for being a backer. And
thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. Got one chalked up on James now.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be sending you a bill in the mail, Alex. And yeah, so I wish you nothing but the best for the rest of the campaign. Everybody keep an eye on it. And everybody else, we will see you if you're in the Northeast this weekend at Council Gaming Con. And if not, we're not going to stream on Friday night because we're going to be at the gaming convention. So we'll be back at it next week. So we will catch you all next week.
Mike,
live from the con. Live from the con.
There you go.
It's a small con, though. I don't know.
So yeah, just the danger of Wi-Fi. But maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll jump on and just say hi to everybody standing at our booth.
Mike,
we'll see.
let me know your Cash App name so I can get you that for rigging the dice for me.
Thank you. At least, thank you. That at least you're willing to admit. So cool. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good rest of the week, and we will talk to you all next week. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Good night.